Hey, namaskar guys, everyone. How are you? And you are welcome back to my new video. So in this video, we're gonna learn together what are structs in Golang and how you can use it and create it. So structs are pretty useful and it is much more structured way to contain and access data in Golang. And if you are going to plan your next startup or project in Golang, I swear you're just going to use it a whole bunch of time in your project. So without talking too much, let's get started. I have already opened up my VS Code, Visual Studio Code editor, and also created the folder called day 13 and dragged and dropped it in my VS Code. So I'm not going to repeat the same part again and again. You just need to understand it by yourself. And here, right after creating and launching the folder in VS Code, the first thing is must go is initialize a new Golang project. Otherwise, there is no meaning to do anything. So let's run the following command to initialize a brand new Golang project in day 13 folder. To do that, here is the command go mod init, and let's add the name of the package, which in this case, in my case, it is strct. You can do anything. You can write anything. So here you can see right after executing that code, here we got a file called go.mod. If you are already familiar with Node.js, then you can also compare it with a package.json file, but in this case it is called go.mod. Okay, so right after initializing the project and visualizing the go.mod, you just need to create another file called main.go in the root directory of your project. Go to main.go. This file is going to be responsible for running at the very top of the project, and after creating this file, you also need to specify a package main function. Package main, it's not a function, it's just a package that's identifying it as the main package of the entire project, which is associated inside the main.go. After that, you just need to create a function called main. This is also going to be responsible for executing all the code right inside this function. This is going to be the really single source of truth. So if you don't know how you can create a function and use it, what are the parameters and what are the variadic functions, just head over to my playlist, which is let's go with Golang. I will obviously describe the link inside the YouTube video description. And now let's focus on our point, which is structs. So what are structs? We know that we can already imagine the name behind the struct it is more structured. So how we can create a structured thing? So let's say we just need to create a common data type that can be accessible from any file of our corresponding project. So let's say and user details, which will contain a name and age details. Okay, so let's create a type. Let's name that type. Struct type is username, and then the struct itself. So type and struct are reserved keyword in Golang to initialize the name of that particular struct type. So it will contain a name or username, let's say username, and this username is going to be a string data type. In upcoming videos, I will come up with an in-depth video of string, but till that, please consider watching these videos and practicing it. Age, which is going to be an integer data type. Okay, it's giving us the warning that they are not used yet. Yes, which is true. We are not yet used it. So let's use it. So let's make a variable called student. Okay, topper details. and this is a variable. And how we can store it? Just using this, the name of the struct and the scope that will give us the structured key, and the name is going to be the value. Username is the value, which is Shourov in this case, age. And in the case of structs, you will get suggestions as well, which is one of the good points over maps. So 24. Okay, now let's use let's import fmt package and print oops, my bad. Print ln and topper details. So here you can see, if you run the main.go, run main.go, you will see the details is really simple here. But is that it? No. You can also access the individual fields of that particular structs just by adding a dot, and you will get the suggestions for it. If you just want to access the age from that particular struct, by the way, this is not just a struct, it is now behaving as an instance of that struct details. Okay, now you can interpret and intercept anything here. You can modify it literally, right? So here you can see now, if you run the same command, you will see that it's giving you the 24, and same for the username. Yeah, that is it. So this is one of the ways to create it. Now let's see how we can update it. Let's say I just need to change the name here. How you can do it? Just copy that, use that instance, and access it by using dot and the field which you just need to change, and then reinitialize, replace that name with whatever you want. For this time, let's say it's Rom. Okay, and print it out after replacing the name. So first it will print out the original name that was originally set while creating or initializing that struct. Then it will update that username, and then it will print out the updated username. Here's the result, Shourov and then Rom. Same for using the same case, you can also modify the age as well. So let's have a look here. If you use topper details.age, and if you try to change it in 23, it's not going to allow us to do it, because we are using double quotation, which is a way to create strings. But we want integer. We have already mentioned that the age is going to be a string, not a string, integer data type. Yeah. Okay. Now, if you run the age, it will be 23 instead of 24. Well, so there are the few things that you can understand from structs, but not the only. So we are gonna deep dive into it. So let's remove it and go and create a function called modify username, and it will take a data, and this data is going to be type of the struct, username struct. So let's use username struct, and it will return the same username. Return the data as data here, because data is also the same type that expect to return, right? So, but before that, we can update the username with another value, new age, and it's going to expect integer. So new age is the new argument. If you don't know how to create functions, then same. I will link it to the description of this video. So this is an integer, cannot use new as variable of init as a string. So oh, okay, it's not a string. New as is not going to be. That's because we were meant this function is meant to be modify the username. So let's call new name, and it's not integer, it's a string data type. That's a thing. New, oops, no, my bad, name. So it's going to modify that here and return the data type, data, which is the same data type as this. We're just modifying the name, right? So we can reinitialize it. Topper details is going to, as we are reinitializing it, that's why I'm not going to use this sign. We are just using a single sign, a sign, and this is the creation of a variable. And let's call the modify. Oh, it's a typo. Modify name, username. So modify username. Oops, my bad. Modify username, and my bad. Modify username, and it's expecting first the data, which is the type of username type. So this is username type. I know that. If you hover over it, you can see that the topper details is the type of username. So we can pass the topper details, and followed by a comma, it expects a second argument, which is new name. That name you want to update. For this, let's make it a Krishna, and here you can see this is the topper details, which is data, and the Krishna is the new thing, new name, which is this. So this data dot user data, followed by our previous example, we are updating the name with the new Krishna instead of Shourov, and returning that updated data, which is still username data type, struct type, and it is expecting it and returning the data right after modifying it. So it's going to return that username data and reinitialize that same variable here. And if you print it out now, fmt dot println topper details. Now I'm not going to explicitly access the both two. You know that how we can access it. So just I'm going to simply, for the sake of simplicity, I'm making it so you can see it's no more Shourov, it's Krishna now, where it was originally Shourov. Okay, that's how we can do it. But where is the pointer function? So we can also use a pointer here. So just need to expect a pointer data type of that instance. So it's actually going to modify it right from the memory of your computer or machine. So in this case, you just don't need to make any return type, as you are making the change from the memory level. So here you go, data, right? And from here it requires a pointer, so it need the address of the memory. So here you can pass it, and yes, we don't, it actually not returning anything, so you can simply remove it. Fine. So if you don't know how these pointers and this ampersand signs are working, then I will also suggest you to watch my video of pointers. I will obviously describe that link in description too. So if you just rerun it now, you can see that it's modified. Okay, that's amazing. That's really amazing. Okay, so if you run it there in valid operation, you can directly change it string as it's a string. Okay, but let's say if it's going to be a age, new age string, and not that much hard, but integers and numbers data types are quite hard. In this case, the username is stacked and the new edge is in the memory. So data dot age is going to be new edge. So it also expects, this function also expects a new argument called the value new is. It was previously it was 24. Let's make it 30. So now it will be name Krishna and the age is going to be 30. But here you can obviously do this. No, you're not going to do it. So okay. So we're just passing the pointer, and this is the pointer. And if you run it, we don't just need to return anything. It's as it's modifying it right inside the memory, so it doesn't require to return anything and reinitializing it, because it's changing this original value from its origin. Okay, right inside the memory. So if you don't know what are the pointers, then highly suggest you to watch that video, which is also available in my playlist as well. So yeah, that was it. But this is not the thing. There is another approach that we can always use. For example, the username. This approach can be also done like this. Just simply use another thing, like what? Okay, user. Okay, teacher details. Let's create it. Var teacher details expects username. That's it. Maybe. Yeah, and need username. Yeah, that's how you can initialize it. Okay. If you don't know the process of initializing and declaring variables, then I will also add that video in the description down below. Okay, so now let's remove it. This was one of the ways to create a variable and initialize the struct and other data types at the same time, but here is another way. So in this method, you can always initialize it whenever you want. For example, this is Shourov, and let's add an age to 40, which is not true. So fmt dot println and teacher details. Now you can see the same details here. Okay, this is one of the approaches as well. So let's say we are creating this struct type outside from our function because we may need it to use it in another files as well. But what if we just need this struct type right inside our function and there is no possibility to reuse it to other files? So in that case, we can also copy this thing, remove it, or okay, let it be. We can always create a new thing. For example, animal type, not type details. It's a variable, and the traditional way we are declaring it. And in this case, we are as we don't need to use or reuse that struct type, so we can directly use a struct, and then the fields name, let's name it as string, and age is going to be integer, and here we can initialize it right after creating it. It's like this. Dog, age is 3, and in this case, if you can also, oops, my bad, can always print it out. We don't have that much time. I know this video is a little bit longer. I'm trying to make the videos shorter, but the truth is that I am not a script maker. I just sat on this laptop or my desk, and using it completely raw. I'm not retouching it. There's no script. That's why it's completely on the go. So that's why it took a little bit time to process in my head what to show you, what to not. Yeah, that's it. So if you run it now, you will see that the dog and the tree is visible here. And if you explicitly access the A's, you can also do it in this case. So this way, this can be valid when the struct type is not required globally. Okay, this is the personal struct, you can see. So why we are using a struct over maps, we can do the same thing in maps, because maps are not going to give us any suggestions, and we can also add as much as fields there, I guess. And this is a more structured way which will give you a proper suggestions too. So that was it. This was the struct data type and a struct a process that one can use in Golang projects. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, then do share this video and make sure to subscribe this YouTube channel. And if this video added a little bit of value in your learning path and your life, then make sure to hit the like button as well. So thank you, good night, goodbye, namaskar.